I'm about to take you on a train ride. Just one stop from my stop to the next stop down. Yes, I live right by a railway station, and where I go and shop is about 2 or 3 minutes down the track. Here it comes, coming into the platform now. I've often thought of moving house, but not many houses will be as well situated as this. Here we go. Let the passengers through. Letting the passengers off. And they won't get a seat really. There we go. Hopefully coming up this episode, we'll be chatting to my mum. Yes.
Welcome aboard the Southwest train service to Woking, calling at West Byfleet and Woking. The next station is West Byfleet.
That wasn't my mum, by the way. That was an announcement. Yes, what was I saying? Yes. Going to be speaking to my mum in this episode. I'm going to ask her some of her favourite things, and I'm also going to ask her what it was like working as a librarian many, many years ago. See if she remembers the shelving imps and the chapters that sprouted in the books. My theory is that librarianing these days is far harder than it was in her day, but we'll see what she has to say. What else is coming in this episode? Well, I've certainly got a poem for you. It's called The Savages of Westminster, and I'm sure we'll be looking at some letters and yeah, I'm not entirely sure what else is coming up yet because it's probably not been recorded. Is that lady again? This is our stop, so it's probably a good time to run the title music. Here we go.
I'm going to do this as voice. I'm trying to record it now.
Right.
But I heard someone say that it was better if it was just voice rather than video. So.
Fine.
So I might do a pretend interview with you, and you just answer as best you can.
Fire away.
Okay.
Hello. I'm out and about today. I'm revisiting a library I used to work in 20 years ago, but more about that later. I got here nice and early. It's a very nice day. It's quite a walk between the entrance of the college and the actual library, so I'm walking sort of through these woods, but not scary woods. At least I don't think they are. But I went shopping earlier. I'm going on holiday at the weekend, and I was looking for a bag that I can use as hand luggage, because I'm only taking hand luggage. I'm not taking suitcases, but I wanted a bag that goes inside my hand luggage, so that when we're out and about, I've got another bag which I can put drinks and maps and stuff in. I thought that would be pretty easy But I knew it had to be a kind of drawstring bag, like a sort of bag you might put your plimsolls in, or some trainers or something. And they used to be everywhere at one point, and I should have just ordered them on Amazon or something, but I thought, no, one of the shops will have one. I must have gone around 4 or 5 different sports shops, and all the bags were rucksacks, and which is great if that's what you're looking for, but in my case, the rucksack was bigger than the bag that I'm actually taking as hand luggage. So I went and looked in one final shop, and I'm sort of looking at my watch and thinking, I've got to be at the library. We're going out for a meal, and I can't be too late. Of course, one of those situations where you leave with plenty of time, but suddenly you find, actually, I'm now running a bit late. So there I go, and exactly what I want. There it is, the drawstring bag. But guess what? It's about 10 foot up at the very top of a like a display, totally out of reach. And I look around and I see there's more on another display, and that's 10 feet up. And I'm looking around and I'm thinking, well, there must be somebody who can get this down. I can't see anybody. There's a few people on the tills and there's queues, and there's nobody actually on the shop floor. I'm determined I'm not gonna walk out of this place until I've got what I came for. But I'm certainly, I've got kind of pollen and my nose is all bunged up and stuff. I'm not going to go scrambling up 10 foot. I'm just not built for that sort of thing. So I'm looking around and I'm thinking, what am I going to do about this? I'm not going to give up, but I'm late, and I see a little pile of these drawstring bags. They're in a sort of pile, obviously about to go on stock, and but they haven't been put out yet. I was thinking, I'm just going to take one of them, and actually the one I found was perfect. I just took it up there and I bought it. So I got what I wanted in the end, but blimey, it should have been a lot easier. So I'm on my way, and apologies for being a bit out of breath, but there's lots of cars going past and nobody's offering me a lift. But not that I really expect it. Even when I worked here, you very rarely got a lift. People would just drive past you. So 20 years after I left, or nearly 20 years after I left, I really don't expect one, but there we go. Right, onwards to the library. I'll tell you a bit more later. Yes, this is the library where I learned all about shush studies, but yes, more later.
So, Susan, you have worked out my secret. No, I am not. Just a mild-mannered store teacher. No, indeed. I am the devil. Yes. I will do things to you that nobody has ever done. I tickle your feet. Yes. You will soon regret that you ever tangled with me. Oh yes. Now I am going to hit you with this daffodil. See how you like that.
Do not worry. It is me, Darius Twinklehorn. I'm doing some acting. Yes. You didn't know. You thought it was really the devil, didn't you? Anyway, I've got to go. I'm just rehearsing for a new film. It's very exciting. Yes. I think I've got a cold coming though. Anyway, see you again soon.
Yes, Suzanne.
Hello, Mum. It's nice of you to join us today. I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask you, and if you'd like to answer them, that would be very good. Thank you. That's very badly introduced.
I will do my best.
Yeah, better than I'm currently doing. Could you tell me what your favourite film is, please? Do you have a favourite film? Or you know,
I'm finding that a bit difficult. A favourite film? Certainly not The Sound of Music. I can be negative.
You can. That's good. That's fine. Is there a particular actor or actress that you like?
Too many to mention.
Too many to mention. I hope you're not going to say this. What about a favourite book? Too many to mention.
My mind's gone blank.
Well, one you enjoy.
What's the Mockingbird one?
The To Kill a Mockingbird.
Kill a Mockingbird. That one.
That one.
Definitely.
What about food? What sort of food is your favourite? If you could choose to have a meal now, I was going to make it. Although you wouldn't get to eat it because I'm here and you're there, but there we go. At least I'd have a nice meal.
Something with fish. Even salmon salad would be lovely.
Mm-hmm.
You could make that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I could do that. Do you have a favourite song?
No.
Sorry, go on.
No.
I know you like. Well, I know one of them you like. You like that Moonlight Shadow. But that by my used to anyway.
Yes, I like the. I like some of the Beatles, some of ABBA's.
And what TV shows? You don't have to be your favourite ones, but what TV shows are you watching at the moment? What could you recommend?
Well, I wouldn't necessarily be able to recommend what I'm watching. I'm watching The Durrells, Marcella, Wallander, Undercover. I wouldn't necessarily recommend any of them.
Do you still have a backlog of going back years of things you're catching up on?
Oh, definitely. Years and years.
and they're all on video, aren't they? Are they still on video? Or are they on discs?
No, both, but mostly on video.
Another programme you like is Neighbours. We both watched Neighbours, and you've watched it pretty much from the start, haven't you? You did see the very first episode.
I wouldn't say it was the first episode. I can't.
I think it was pretty early on. I remember Dad being incensed because Daphne was a stripper, and that was very early on that she was a stripper.
Yes, I remember Daphne and Des and Kylie when she was supposed to be 16, and the garage mechanic or whatever. So and the Robinson, what was his name?
Well, Jim.
Jim, that's right.
And
Jim. Yes.
Jim and Haddon.
Yeah.
Jim died, and then he went to Hollywood and started playing other characters.
Mm.
Well, the actor did anyway. But you're still watching to this very day, aren't you?
Yes, if I don't fall asleep.
No, that's fine.
A post-prandial nap.
Now I know you like your garden, and you probably rather be at home with the cats. But if you could go on holiday anywhere, and someone nice like me or whatever would be looking after the cat, and they'd be safe, where would you like to go on holiday if you could go tomorrow or now? As long as you can pack first, it's fine.
I'd like to do the train trip down to Lake Garda.
Oh, that's where I want to go. So I'm going to have to come with you. We'll have to leave Dad behind, and he can look after the cats, and we'll go.
Yes, but you wouldn't want the train trip.
I'll do the train trip too, but I just want to go to Lake Garda ultimately, whichever way I can get there.
One of the things I'll always remember about this library was one of my first professional jobs. And one of the first things that we had to do when I was here, it's quite a reasonable sized library, and we had to move the book stock into storage because they were refurbishing the building. So some of it was going into storage and some of it was going to a different building, so we could run a minimal service for the year it was going to take to refurbish the library. And I tell you, there's nothing like carting boxes of books around with the people that you're just starting to work with to help you bond and get to know them. It's probably why we're still friends 20 years later, although only one of the people who was there when I was there is still working for this particular library. Oh, it's a hot day. Yes, so I'm not sure how much I'll be able to say when I get in the library, because there might be people studying. So, yes, I'll tell you a bit more about the sort of library it was later on.
This is a poem from my book, A Yeti Way of Thinking. It's called The Savages of Westminster. All the savages of Westminster are looking down on folk like us, on every smelly, bored commuter who takes the train, worse still, the bus. Some of us, we vote them in, but far too many just don't care. And yet I say to those who don't, get off your arses or beware, because quite happily they'll screw us, changing rules we cannot halt. We get our chance to have our say, so if they cheat us, it's our fault. Those savages sit back, relaxed, it's politics, and so we're bored. Those villains know it too and smile. Here is the news, but it's ignored. All the savages of Westminster are quite handy with a fist. All their mothers taught them manners, but they never got the gist. All their uncles gave directions so they wouldn't lose their way. It's a lot to take in sometimes, but they gotta have their say. It's a wilderness out there, but they have got a certain talent. Alas, it isn't being kind, and neither is it being gallant. All those savage civil servants find their jobs so very grueling. But did you ever stop to think, my dear, it's us folk they are ruling? All the savages of Westminster, they have a twinkle in their eye. They wear a very knowing look, they sigh a quite well-weary sigh. They're not the kind with whom you argue, no, they don't take well to advice. They're only used to loud applause, they're on the stage then, in a trice. But it's no more than we deserve, and you can't simply skip the blame. It is your apathy that shocks, that shows you up, oh, it's a shame. Whilst all the savages just laugh at you and very rudely mock. But why do we let them do it? This is one boat we need to rock. Well, that should count as my politics for this episode. Moving on.
Well, it is me. It is me. I am a mad professor. You thought that I was a doctor. You thought that I was here. I was going to cure the common cold. But no, I am crazy. Absolutely crazy. And I am going to rule the world. Yes, I am going to rule the world. And I am going to, I'm going to steal all the kittens. Yes. It's just, yes.
It was me, Damius Twinklehorn. I was just practicing for a film I am in. Wasn't I good? Gotta go. Bye.
Right, do you want me to stay on, or are you going to listen to it and then come back later? If it's not good enough. So I'll go and do my mowing now for an hour, and then I'll come.
Well, let's just do one more. I've set it slightly differently. Then we'll just do another couple of minutes, and then.
Okay.
And then
You'll have to wait for the clock to stop striking.
I'm going to ask you about libraries.
Wait a minute.
Well, I've got some letters here just to read to you quickly. One is from someone who calls herself Gertie. She says, have you ever eaten a library book? Well, Gertie, the answer is, of course I have. Library books are one of the tastiest things that you can ever eat. They're much nicer than bookshop books. Bookshop books are like chicken when you buy them from a supermarket or something. You know, they're ungarnished, they're just sitting on the shelf, they've got no flavour. Books that have been in the library have been able to marinate. They've been there for years, they've got layers of dust, and although the one thing I will say, if you leave them too old, they can be a bit chewy, particularly the spines and stuff. It's not great. You need to choose a book that perhaps has been on the shelf 4 or 5 years. You know, it's not had many people reading it, but it's you know, and it probably won't have any more readers. And yeah, they're probably the tastiest. Do you cook them? You can do. They're nice raw, I'd say, a bit of salt and pepper. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Gertie. We may be doing a show on book eating later in the series. The next letter I've got, well, they just signed themselves X. I'm not sure who this is. How big this is a bit rude. How big is my ego? I'm not sure I can actually answer that. You know, I don't think there are numbers that kind of... look, we really need some more sensible letters. This isn't what I was expecting from you listeners. Yes, please, next time, some more sensible letters. Well, no, not sensible, but maybe, you know, better letters. Moving on. It's okay, I can even find out. I used to work here, so okay. Yeah. Okay, cool, thank you. I'm in the library now. I'm sure there are lots of books in here that have chapters growing in them that shouldn't be there, but it's not my job to be removing them. Some librarians don't like to do that. They literally let the chapters keep growing. We don't do that in our library, but anyway, shh.
I've disappeared. I've disappeared. She's on the...
I started recording a podcast. I've been listening to lots of podcasts, and I decided it would be quite fun. So I used to do my videos, but they got so difficult to edit. Because I like doing things quite basically. I don't really like lots of equipment. Joe says hello. I saw her yesterday. Yeah. Just back from New Zealand. Yeah, well,
It's very nice being back at the library, I must say. But, gosh, it's a long time since I worked here. 20 years. And, I say I learned all my, all the sort of tips that you need to know as a librarian. Particularly shush studies, which is, you know, where you can shh. You know, it's a difficult. It just sounds like somebody shushing, but you know, it's the exact timbre of the voice, the resonance. You can just stop people in their tracks. A quick shh. It's different tones of shushes for different circumstances. It's a science. I tell you, it's a science. I'm sure we'll talk more about it at some later stage. But yeah, there's plenty of stories I can tell you. I've been having a look around. I can't see too many shelving imps. But as I say, the books have got chapters growing in them where they shouldn't be. But yes, it's quite eye-opening, quite different from the library I work in. But as I say, good to be back.
Yes. Go.
Thank you very much for answering my questions earlier. I was going to ask you, because we do talk about such things, about libraries. You worked in a library, and I work in a library, and you worked in a public library, didn't you? I've never worked in a public library.
Yes.
What was that? What's that like?
I really enjoyed the public library. I didn't think that I would ever want to be in a specialist library of any sort. You get so much variety with the different people coming in, not in a closed institution, as you might say, or institute. So
did you ever work on the mobile library?
yes, I went out on the mobile library several times until one day I felt very sick and it rather put me off.
You have to be able to drive the van if the drive. So you have to be able to drive to.
Well, they do now, but in our day, you the same as we had bus conductors or conductresses with bus drivers. There was always a driver, and then all you had to do was be the librarian. I just think it's quite a hard day actually if you've got to do the driving and do everything else. Mind you, the driver used to sit and read his paper. He didn't used to help at all. Not the one that I remember anyway.
I've been telling people about some of the problems that librarians have these days. You may not have encountered it back in the day, but we find that sometimes if you leave books on the shelf that over a lot of time, I think it's probably the moist atmosphere in the air, sometimes new chapters begin growing. Did you ever find that with any of the books in your library, or was that perhaps the libraries weren't so moist in those days?
What happens to them?
New chapters start growing. Yeah, you suddenly get a new chapter sprouting in the book.
No, definitely not. It was a rather dry,
that's the thing. I work
warm atmosphere.
To do with central London. And what about shelving imps running around selling the books on the market and stuff? And did you have shelving imps stealing the books? No,
well, we had borrowers who unfortunately didn't put the books back in the right places. So every morning for an hour, our first job was to take a section of the library and to get all the books in order and straightened up.
You can come and work in our library if you want. We could do with that. Yeah. Anyway, well, thank you very much. I think it sounds like libraries back in the day were a lot safer than they are now. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
The library's definitely changed quite a lot since I was here. Back in the day, it wasn't just books we had here, but all manner of strange and mysterious things. We used to catalogue fruit, cobwebs. We used to catalogue squirrels and all sorts of different things. We had a brilliant collection of boy bands and girl singers. It was quite incredible, but it's just books these days. There were a few ghosts, but I think they're actually making them work as librarians, getting them to shelve the books. I suppose it's a good way of making use of the ghosts in the library, but I don't think we do it where I work, but it's nice to see them gainfully employed, I suppose.
I'm a pirate. I'm a pirate, and I'm gonna make sure you walk the plank. You're gonna walk the plank, and you're gonna fall off the end of the plank and into some water. What's it called now? Oh, it's the sea. Yes. I'll make sure that you walk off the end of the plank, and you get some seaweed on your your noggin. I'll make sure that happens.
It's me. It was me again. Damn it, Twinklehorn. These voices that I'm doing, it's a side of me you're not seeing. I mean, you've never seen. Because usually I play pigeons or trees. I've actually got a role where I've got to do a voice.
Oh, yes. I'm a pirate.
Oh, exciting. Well, that was a nice visit. I would have liked to have interviewed some of the people that I used to work with, but I think they might have been a bit shy. Well, I'm shy, so there's only room for one of us being shy. But, anyway, one of the people that I did used to work with 20 years ago, I actually saw for dinner last night. My friend Jo, she's worked on radio before now, and she's agreed to be a guest on a future episode of the Shy Life podcast. In fact, she may be on many episodes. We've just got to set aside a time to do some recording, so hopefully we may get to talk about how we first met, and yes, in a future episode. Anyway, moving on. Well, this is the nearest we'll probably get to a music section this episode. I can't go to Camberley without going to a particular record shop. Camberley is where the library was that I was speaking about. It's a little way out of London, and the record shop is the Rock Box. And I can't go to Camberley without going in the Rock Box. It was there 20 years ago, and maybe 20 years before that. I'm not sure. But it was an independent record shop. Back in the day when I started living in Camberley, there were more record shops, but they were all big chain shops, R Price and W.H. Smith's, and but no, the independent record shop. That's where I used to hang out. The Rock Box, and it used to be a place where the cool kids hung out. Today it was full of school kids, but I'm sure they're very cool. But I bought 4 albums for just over £10. I'm buying vinyl at the moment. I mean, I still buy CDs, and I still buy downloads of new stuff, but I'm trying to grow my vinyl collection. And so I shall run through what I bought. Starting with an album called Pinky Blue by Altered Images. Now, Altered Images did Happy Birthday. Not Happy Birthday to you, the song Happy Birthday, the one that goes Happy Birthday, yes. And I always play that on my birthday and have a bop around my room or the house or wherever I am, usually a hotel room if I'm away for my birthday. Anyway, Pinky Blue doesn't have Happy Birthday on, but it does have See Those Eyes and I Could Be Happy and Pinky Blue, and that's from 1982. And I've never heard this album. I've got their greatest hits, but I've never heard this album from beginning to end, so I'm looking forward to that. The next album I bought is one of my favourites. It's Wild Planet by the B-52s. That's from about 1980. It's red cover with all the band on it. You can't go wrong with this album. These are all second hand, so I hope they're not too scratched up. My record player hopefully can play them and not have a nervous breakdown. Wild Planet has Party Out of Bounds, Dirty Back Road, Running Around, Give Me Back My Man, Private Idaho, Devil in My Car, Quiche Lorraine, Strobe Light, 53 Miles West of Venus. Those are some of the best B52 songs, I think. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. I was pleased to see that. Now, the next album might not be quite so popular. But as a Beatles fan, I've always been quite fond of Wings, and this is London Town. It's got With a Little Luck on it. Not masses of hits. It's one of their later albums. The exact year, I'm not sure. I'm guessing 1979, 1980, something like that. I believe it's got the poster that came with the album when it was released, but I haven't taken it out of its cover, its sleeve yet. So anyway, the last album I bought is by Gary Newman. It's the best of Gary Newman. Seems to cover about the first 6 albums, so that must take us into the early 80s, 82 or something like that. Yes, 82 it says, this compilation. It's got Our Friends Electric, Cars, We Are Glass, Complex, Me, I Disconnect From You, She's Got Claws, Stormtrooper in Drag. I think that was written about me, I should think. No, only joking. We Take Mystery to Bed. How would you take mystery to bed? I'm not sure about that. Not quite sure how that would work, but sure Gary can explain. Anyway, that's my review of what I've purchased. The first album that I purchased when I was living in Camberley was Everything Must Go by the Manic Street Preachers back in 1996. It wasn't the day it came out, but it was my first day of work, and I'd been thinking about buying it, and I couldn't have a first day at work without treating myself to something, and Everything Must Go was the album that I bought, and a good album it is too. Anyway, that's it for now. Moving on to something else. What? Speak. Sorry. Dealey, can I ask you a question, please? Have you listened to the recent episode of the Shy Yeti podcast? Please, can you stop cleaning your leg like that? I'm trying to ask you a question. Dealey, can you answer me? What do you think of the episodes? Are we improving? Dealey, are we improving? What has that meant to me? Surely it's not still 5 out of 10. You must have thought we've improved in some way. Dealey, stop chewing on your leg. Okay. We'll keep trying. I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Shy Life podcast. It was pretty busy, wasn't it? We met my mum. We went back to the library I used to work in, and, well, I just hope that we can maintain this standard of excitement for next time. Anyway, I'll see you again soon, I hope. This is me, Shy Yeti, signing off.
Bye.
Cool. Bye.